downtown Minneapolis. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
Remember we were kids and they all said, hey, whatever you want to do, make your kid a left-handed pitcher, make them play baseball, they'll play forever. Forget that. I want a quarterback. All right? That's what I want to raise. In this era where you throw it around like crazy, you put up numbers like he did in his last game.
Last week, almost 500 yards. And they'll run. This is Trey Sermon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on it. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. And they'll go for it. Lance. He'll buy some time right. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Off of play action, here's Lance. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big connection on that one. 36 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Here's Sermon. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising. But they wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter, shiftier defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Again with Sermon. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field.
Touchdown! Kyle Juszczyk, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. but they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Escaping the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. This one caught by Isabella. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. That's caught by the tight end, Herb Smith Jr. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Niners, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Steps away to his left. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Bilal Nichols in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So now make that a 2nd sack for them on this drive.
And, Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Lance now on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And got his man complete. And all the way up to the 49. A big play there for the Niners. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Lance. He's going to let it go again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. A play fake for Sermon. Now Lance. He completes it to Beckham. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Lance now to throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work?
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off at the 25. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing.
And it's complete in the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. His 11th touchdown of the year.
And the Niners are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he returns this to the 22.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll look to throw. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
That ball complete to Isabella. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 29-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Complete. Smith has it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Again, it's Cook.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook.
His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And the stakes in this game certainly high as we get toward the end of the regular season. For now, they are holding a wild card spot, but there are no shortage of other teams in the NFC looking to take that spot from them.
Starting with the guys on the other side of the field because they're on the outside looking in, and no one likes to be in that position. You want to be in the room, not looking inside to see everyone else having fun.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Shrugs him off, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a play fake. Lance. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line. Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage. Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Lance. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong...
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw.
Over the middle, complete. It's Clark. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. Distance wasn't the problem, but he did need some help from the right upright, and he got it. A little kiss and in.
Yeah, unfortunately caught on the inside of the upright, and that pushed it through. This isn't like a baseball foul pole where you hit any part of it and it counts. It's got to go through the post. If he hits it on the outside, that's no good.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. 1 second, all that remains. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. The decision is to decline. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Take it in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. He'll drop to throw. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. It was the safety blitz that ultimately did the job, and they're going to credit him with a sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They're going to look to throw.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half.
Throwing on first down is Lance.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. His third touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration. There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
They'll run with Cook, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. So take away the touchdown. It's kind of been one of those games for these guys.
I think it's safe to say that that type of a play just added to their misery, right?
They'll drop to throw. Touchdown, Vikings! And Isabella, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
On second down, it's Sermon. Runs over him.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
They run once more with Sermon.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Lance, a give now to Sermon.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Now a handoff. Sermon.
He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From midfield, here's Lance. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Good positioning, and it's picked off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 5. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
7 yards, the pickup there. 2nd down and 3.
Looking to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll run for it. Cook. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. Dalvin Cook turned away on 4th down. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
The Lance going to throw. They set up the screen for Sermon.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Here's Lance to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Steps away. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Nick Bosa, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you're doing across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Play action, now it's Lance.
This one caught by Kittle. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle, his 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Niners are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Extra point right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth.
And he is going to be taken down. They got him, as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
But here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early. And sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Again, it's Sermon.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
93 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. On the handoff, Sermon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And the connection not there. Incomplete. Just 14 seconds down to the final couple of plays here.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
And oh, no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up fourth down. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the